Hello and welcome. My name is Greatman Ayilara, and today we are starting a new episode of Wake Up Nigeria. It's taking a new shape and a new form. This is what I wanted to go ahead and do, to invite your friends and family and share it with them, even as a watch party, because today is going to be fully packed. We're going to be talking about many things and be crossing so many boards, especially the new developments in the nation. We would really love you to be part of it, be contributory, and also you have the chance to call in. Okay, so what are we talking about today on Wake Up Nigeria? We're talking about the person of Bishop Oyedepo. You can see him right there. Is the biggest on the screen here, and we'll be talking about CAMA2020. We'll be talking about the Mali Coup. We'll be talking about what is going on in the House of Rep and the committee that is being set up. And we'll talk about the MFM fraud. We'll be bringing in Christ Embassy into the matter. Especially, I will be torchlighting a lot of them. And also different kind of development that is going around our nation, and the essence of it is for you to wake up. So this is what I wanted to do. Go ahead and share it on your wall, make it a watch party as we start right away. Now, the very first issue we want to tackle on Wake Up Nigeria today is the issue of CAMA 2020. The issue of CAMA 2020. CAMA actually means Company Allied Matter Act. Company Allied Matter Act. It's actually regulation on the Corporate Affairs Commission. Corporate Affairs Commission. Every nation has it. Every country in the world has this kind of scheme that is being set up by their government to oversee what happens with public money. One thing Nigerians need to know is this. It is the fact that public money belongs to the public. And gone are those days where people think that, okay, church money is belonging to God. No, church money belongs to the public. And to you, you might be saying, okay, I've given my money to God and all of that. And the question we want to ask you today is that what kind of currency does God spend? What kind of currency does God spend? The money you give in tithe, in offering, and all of those things, how does it get to God? How does he receive them? In case you are broke as a person, how do you even get to make a withdrawal of all this money you are giving to the so-called God? And do you ever bother to ask under which regulation or body is your church or your NGO registered on? Either you are a mosque, you are a church, or Lobatala, if you are a religious body. All the non-government organization, non-profit organization are under what we call charity organization. Charity organization. I've heard one of your pastors said something in the past and say church is not a charity organization. They are wrong. And they are one of the greatest liars in the world. Let them show you the document they received from CAC, and it is clearly boldly stated there that they are like #1 charity organization. And although they are not required to pay tax, they are likewise required to make a return to the government in terms of their documentation. So the government gave them license to operate. They are not the one who give government license to operate. Government gave them license to operate under the umbrella of charity. And because every government of a nation knows that we can't do it all. We need individuals, we need people to come together for a cause, either as a support group, NGO, and all of those things. Come together and just do something for yourself while we oversee it. We will not touch your money. If you are a Christian, you are a Muslim listening to me today, the purpose is not to touch your money. The purpose is not for you to give government money or to pay tax. The purpose is that the money you say you give to God or corporate organization, when it comes to, let's say, okay, NGO, charity organization, is being spent for what they say they will spend for. Except you don't know the rule of law. Are you sharing it on your wall? Now, I'll be bringing up a certain board on my side here. And this board will tell you what you do not know about CAMA 2020 before we go on into detail. Now, if you can see very well, these are the things corporate NGO are expected, because other platform, TV stations and all that might not be able to give you details about what is going on. I will give you detail. We spend time to read this. I reached out to some of my friends who are working in Corporate Affairs Commission, although there has not been a letter to that effect yet, that the Corporate Affairs Commission should start making use of this new act of CAMA 2020. It has been designated and is signed into law. I'll give you the privilege of looking at this particular screen with me, and we will start on this note. Here is what you need to know if you are running a corporate organization, because a charity organization like myself. The first thing is about the annual return. And before we even delve into that, why would the government want to dabble into what you use the fund of your NGO or your charity organization or your church for? Because charity organization like churches, like mosques, like religious bodies, like NGO has become the very important and crucial window through which terrorism is being sponsored all over the world. Aside from the use of Bitcoin cryptocurrency to sponsor terrorism, churches, mosques, religious bodies, NGO are now the number one way these terrorists use in financing their terrorism. So they say, we are giving you this money in donation. So money that comes to NGO, churches and all that are being given in form of donation. However, another instruction could be given that this money should be used for this and this. You just take your own commission. So they use churches, NGO to launder, and there are regulations that are being given to this NGO and charity organization before they could start things. I'm taking it one step at a time so that you will get acclimatized with it. Another thing is that there's a huge misappropriation of funds under NGOs. Before, when you want to run NGO charity organization, you are not required to get what we call anti-money laundering certificate, which is called SCUML in Nigerian banks. But now you need to get it. The reason why I'm able to know all this is because I run a viable NGO in this country. And either as a church or charity organization, the first time we started collecting public money, we started on Greatman Christian Global Outreach. When I'm done with Christianity, we dump it. But our Greatman Christian Global Outreach was actually registered like a church. So I know the details of church running. I said, I don't want to be part of this. So we started a neutral entity that could help anybody irrespective of your religious affiliation. So let's go into what you need to know when it comes to CAMA 2020. I will be highlighting it for you. Just look at this screen. Here, concerning the annual return, the CAMA 2020 is not a new law. It's been in existence, but they had to make a little bit of adjustment to it. We want to be prime. We want to be world standard, but we don't want to use the world's regulation. What is wrong with us? Under the annual returns, you are mandated to submit a biannual statement of affairs to CAC. Failure to do so attract daily penalty for each trustees. All the trustees will be penalized daily from the time that they fail to submit their biannual statement. What is the meaning of biannual? You find it out for yourself under section 84. Unfortunately, most of these people don't do the submission of their annual statement. Now, submission of your biannual statement does not mean that you will be giving government money, but you will be showing government how you are using public money. You are mandate association to keep account records that sufficiently show and explain its transaction. It is prohibited. You cannot just take money from church, from mosque, from religious body, from NGO, and say, because I'm the one who just use it to buy this and that. The reason why, let me show my face a little bit. The reason why your pastors, your GOs, your bishops, and all of those things are riding private jet is because they have this kind of monopoly of power over the finance of the money of the church, of the mosque. So they can afford to live lavishly. because they are not using the money. If all of them are using the money according to the government regulation, they will not be as rich as it is. Nigerian Bishop Oyedepo is actually the richest pastor almost in the whole world. So you will get the reason why this man don't want the government to have access to their papers. So we move on. Still talking about all these things, I want to break it down. So accounting record should include day-to-day income and expenditure and record of assets and liability. However, do you know that in most of these churches, they don't even take their money to banks? Do you know? I have friends who, when they post them to Canaan land to go and count money, as a matter of fact, they actually lobby. I have friends who lobby to be posted to Canaan land to go and count money. The money is so magnanimous and so much that they cannot take it to bank. Because they know when they take the money to bank, it will be traceable. When either EFCC or FIRS or all those things begin to ask for, okay, your paper. So they keep the money at home. So they can use it lavishly the way they want to do. However, the CAC documentation procedure is now saying that all these things, the accounting must show itself. As a matter of fact, you need to get an external auditor who will audit your account. So the account record must be preserved for 6 years. Now, when you talk about, okay, I'm a Christian, I need to fight against CAMA. If you are a Christian, you are not fighting against CAMA and all of those things. You are only being stupid as a Nigerian. It is for your own good. It is for your own benefit. But this religious sentiment and blindness that has covered our eyes want to make us feel like let's leave everything to God. So criticism is seen in Nigeria as judgment. Also, accountability is seen as prognosis by the government, although we have a very irresponsible government in the whole world. Talking about Nigeria, holding record of irresponsibility when it comes to governance. But are we saying that the government cannot be better? So when your pastor and your bishop is jacking, saying, no, you can't access my paper, he who have no skeleton in his cupboard should not be scared of being searched. Audited statement of account to accompany usual yearly report and all of those things. So they talk about merger. That is not concerning us for now. Additional ground of dissolution by court. It's a new ground added: withdrawal, cancellation, and revocation of certificate of registration by the commission. When you default, your certificate of incorporation can be withdrawn from you. Members of an association are to identify an institution for transfer of its property. When there is dissolution, are you with me? When there is dissolution, for example, let's say Winners Chapel is dissolving their church. They look for another church or another organization that have the same aim and objective like them and give their property, they transfer their property to them. When there is dissolution in NGO, charity organization, religious body, you don't sell the property and cut away the money. But your pastors, your imams, your GOs in Nigeria, they have turned churches into private business, which ought not to be. So they buy lands, acquire property for church on their name. So when they die, their wife, husband, or children take over. It becomes a family inheritance. However, they are running a public fund. You cannot amass public wealth to create family inheritance. It is wrong. That is what the government is saying. In the case you want to pack up or you want to fold up, you look for someone or an organization or a body that have the same aim like you and will those things for them so that they can continue when it comes to charity. Do they do that in Nigeria? No. When your pastor is packing up, he sell all the property, you pay tithe, offering, and the rest to build and cut away with it. You know how many times they have done move for you? You think you are wise. Nigerians, you need to wake up. The days of Elijah is gone. The days of Moses is gone. In fact, the days of Jesus is long gone. This is the days of common sense where you need to hold your pastors accountable for what they do. The days of I gave my money to God, whatever God like or the pastor like, let him do, is between him and God, is gone. If you give a penny to your pastor, it has to be between you and your pastor, and the government should moderate it. We continue on things you need to know as a charity organization, because most people do not understand what these pastors are jacking for, the SCAN are jacking for it, PFN jacking for it, especially Pastor Oyedepo is jacking for it. You're talking about common seal, talking about giving false information in registration application. They talk about penalty for using trustee disqualified by law. Most of the trustees of these churches are criminals. They are criminals. They do not even have a common aim and objective with the churches. But so many of these criminals have bought their way into the board of trustees of your churches, your mosque, your religious body, because they pay the most. That talks about it. Now, we talk about the one that actually, the number 9, is what is giving problem to the whole nation right now. This number 9, talking about emphasis on power of CAC to investigate NGOs affairs. Now, remember, emphasis is not something that is just being said. It is something that is being restated or being re-announced. All of these things has been in place. But maybe someone is scared that this government does not play, and they think someone is coming against them. So they begin to jack. The functions of CAC clearly state its power to arrange or conduct an investigation into the affairs of incorporated trustees where the interest of the members of public so demands, including ensuring compliance with the provisions of the Act and relevant regulation made by the Commission. Now, what this particular statement does is to give you, a contributor, a member of a church, a member of a mosque, a member of a charitable organization, the power. This particular CAMA2020 empowers you to query your pastor now. So when they say they are contributing money for Gen, and they are saying they want to buy 300 kVA, and they went to buy 100 kVA, this particular one has given you the power. As a matter of fact, you don't need to confront your pastor. All you need to do is to lodge a complaint with CAC. CAC will inquire. So money was contributed, this amount. What did you do with it? If the money for Gen enters the money for roofing, there will be a problem. That's when you know that your pastor is not supposed to be as rich as he is living lavishly upon you. That's when you begin to know that all these pastors are criminals. That's when you begin to know that your man of God is a man of his own belly. Money has been missing road all this while, but they say you should count it all joy. They say heaven is sure, but they refuse to die. This single CAMA2020 has given you, a common citizen, the power to touch the anointed of God. So the anointed is jacking and shouting. Are you with me? I will be revealing some things to you. Please, just stay with me. Now, having said this, this is what the government of the nation is saying. I will now take you to this Bible verse before we begin. We have not started. This is Romans chapter 13. If you have your Bible, go and open it quickly. Please open your Bible with me to the book of Romans chapter 13. To tackle the men of God, we need to open what they use to build their factory. I have never seen a situation where one man close a book, read the book for you, cut away with millions in dollars. I have never seen a situation where people can be so gullible. Millions of you will stand before just one man to hear the same thing that you could read in the corner of your room. So what does your pastor do for you? I'm asking, what is the job and the function of your pastor upon you? Now you say, it is God that protects. Is that not what you say? That it is God that protects. Now, does your pastor have the monopoly of power to God? Or all of you have been called the sons of this God? So why is it that you amass wealth for your pastor in order to help you talk to this God? Alone, if you are in the corner of your room, you can call him and he will answer if he ever hears. So you say until you go to pastor. And pastor will say, before I can help you to talk to God, drop offering, drop tithes. You, Nigerians, government will tell you to pay tax. You will occupy the street. But you will willingly give 10% of all the money you have to one man who does not pay tax. You want the government to do miracle. You say they should not borrow money. You refuse to pay tax, but you pay tithe to a man who by law is not meant to pay tax. And you want the GDP of the country to go. You are a mumu man. Because we are just starting. We are not ready for revolution or a change in this nation. When the government or someone who say pay this tax, you say no, we no go agree or we no go agree. But willingly, without being touched, without being spoken to, you think it is your obligation to remove 10% of your money, give it to your pastor, whereas your pastor is not obligated to pay tax. And we need the taxpayers' money to grow the nation. So when the government go to China to go and get money, China is coming. They are coming. We will get there. You will be complaining and saying Buhari is borrowing money. How much have you put in government's pocket since the beginning of this year? Now count how much you are giving to your pastor. So the government is saying, if the pastor is who you want to give your money to, if the imam is who you want to give your money to, we want to see what these imam and pastors are doing with the money. The funniest thing is that all of them in their manifesto says that everything they do is for humanitarian cause. How many of your pastors give you palliative during the lockdown? How many of them have ever bothered to say, I want to house you? When they build their estate, they put money on it. When you even go to see, I want to talk to God, they still collect money. You are not waking up. And we need to wake ourselves up. Now we are talking about the book of Romans chapter 13. That's where we are. This is what your Bible says. It said, everyone must, underline must, submit himself to what? To governing authorities. For there is no authority except that which God has established. Now, this is where we tell you that religion is politics. That politics is a branch of religion and religion is a branch of politics. Wherever you run to, they want my buy. So these people told you in December that they are seeing prophecy and they are seeing vision. They didn't see COVID-19. They did not see CAMA2020. They didn't see lockdown. They never saw that their church will be closed down. They saw nothing. They were not seeing anything. On top of the things that they did not see, you gave them money on top. Talogo. Now this Bible is saying you must submit yourself to the governing authority. The authorities that exist have been established by what? By God. Consequently, he who rebels against the authority is rebelling against what? Against what God has instituted. If your pastors fear God, if the Christian Association of Nigeria fears God, if the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria fears God, if Oyedepo fears God, he will not jack. Number one, he has something to hide. Number two, he does not even respect the scripture that is making money for him. Because by the constitution of you Christians, he's not supposed to do that. You know how many times this man has defied the law of the government? You know how much he has risked your life? When they say you should stay home during the COVID-19, he opened church. You know what they are? You know how they use your life to intercant. Not feel life, not intercant. The other time your father in the Lord in camp, your Bishop Daddy Gio, told you that I can assure you I can assure you, no member of RCCG will die during COVID-19. During the course of lockdown, he changed his musical. Baba Ojapala Mamong Tofuji. Baba said it is only those whose time has come. Only those whose time has come that will go with COVID. When they say go back to church, it was one of the first set of people that was wearing face mask. You that said God is with you, that say God be for me, can be against. You know how many of you have died through this COVID? Or you believe in God. Your bishops, they believe in their common sense. But they use your own life as a kite. And you cannot even reason between the lines. So when we come here to tell you the simple truth, you say we are Antichrist. We agree. But if we, during the course of being Antichrist, we might save some. Let's go back to the Bible. It says, for ruler holds no what? No terror for those who do right. If Oyedepo have nothing to hide, it will not be booming and bragging against the ruler. The ruler will hold no terror against you if you have not broken the law. Please do me a favor, share this. We need more people to hear. The more you share, the more liberation you give to people. That is how that goes. So for the sake of those who do not know what we're, Romans chapter 13, verse 1 to 3 has messed up Oyedepo and the rest of the Christian Association of Nigeria singularly. Singularly messed them up. Because I do not know why a church, for that matter, will be objecting against transparency. I've never seen such a level of absurdity and nonsense before. I've never seen. However, that takes us to the international scene. And let's make an example of the United Kingdom Charity Commission. The United Kingdom Charity Commission. When these people leave Nigeria to somewhere else, they abide by the rules and regulations that governs that land. And from that place, they say Nigeria can never be better. So when they are in Nigeria, I will say, let us meet international standard by following international protocol. They say, never, this plane cannot fly. Àwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣe ọ̀tẹ̀ màdàrú Nàìjíríà lẹ́rí yẹn. These are the people behind the lack of progress of this nation. These are the very people who are sinking and stalling the flight of this nation. When they get out of this nation, they abide by the rules and regulations. But where they are in this nation, they mess things up. Government in it here, but who are the government? Are we not the government? I would have been very happy if the church decided to lay a good example for the government, not be the one who is becoming a tyrant. Ordinary church that they closed, Chris Oyakilome was running his mouth. He was the one that said it is bad for man of God to curse. When Owu blow body, he was the one that was saying you don't have right for us to. He was telling the government that the numbers of hours, we will deal with that one some other day. That Jerry-looking guy. I'm finished here. But let's deal with what is on ground. Now, it may look to you as if it is a new development, but it has been on ground for a while. Do you remember KICC belonging to Matthew Ashimolowo? Matthew Ashimolowo. Because of the transparency and the ability for the UK Charity Commission to intervene and inspect the operation of his church, they saw that, what did they do? They dissolved his board of trustees immediately and they took him out of the chair. They took him out of the chair. Why? To save the pence and the pounds of the people. Because these people were giving this money in good faith that we can do community development and help other people, where one man is using it to amass wealth for himself. So they took him out. It has happened to winners too before. Because right now in UK, Oyedepo is not even, his family member are not even. I'm going to show you now. I will show you. If you spare me just a minute. Spare me just a minute. Let me look for this file. I will show you. We will go to the internet and I'll show you this document. All right. So this is for Winners Chapel. I'm going to show you the board of trustees of Winners Chapel UK now. Let me take you there, so that you will see things in a community, in a nation that works. And because of this, they don't want it to work here in this country. This is the UK Charity Commission website. So far, so good. See the income of Winners Chapel. £10.2 million. Pounds lele ya be euro. Pounds lele. Spending is £7.7 million. Their papers are up to date. Why did they not say in that place? Talking about the operation where they work, the people in the board of trustees. Now, I want you to look at this board of trustees and tell me which one of them is the name of Oyedepo's family. Which one of these board of trustees belongs to Oyedepo family? Even the chairman is not Adebayo Arowolo, is not even Oyedepo. In a nation that works. Or in Nigeria, they want to be the assembly pastor, or they want to be the overall. And they know that when the government steps in, they will not have the levity or even the luxury of milking you dry, all in the name of come and get financial breakthrough. They had issue with the corporate, the charity organization before, but now their papers are up to date, everything up to date. If you see this sign, this up to date, that means there is no problem with them. However, they are operating under World Mission Agency in that place. Now, I will now take you to another one. We'll take you to another one. You see, in a nation that things works, you don't need to go, transparency is just the key. I hope you are sharing this. Let's talk about this man. Here is Oyakilome. Here is Oyakilome. You see this Oyakilome that I are seeing, so you see, his church in UK is like a criminal organization. We will open the website and see, they gave us detail. You know what they do? What they do in the UK is that when you begin to mismanage public fund and all that, they assign an independent, they call them interim manager, IM, over your board of trustees, and make sure that the board of trustees take care of the religious activity while the interim manager take care of the financial operation. One of the singular rule that is wrong with one of these people is that a member of the board of trustees ought not to be taking money as salary from the church. But these people make themselves the chair, they make their wife the assistant chair, and all of that, and they pay themselves from there's a lot you need to understand about the law that governs charity organization or non-governmental organization like churches, which if you don't understand, you will be following the sentiment and the emotion of Kilotin Purukwe, your father in the Lord, Oyedepo. Now, I'm not sorry to say, now, I will take you to this one. We're going to Christ Embassy's case. I'm not manufacturing story. I hope you know. Now, here is not a platform where people clout, where we begin to shout, blah, 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 we're going to do that. From your private life, I'm a seeker. I seek the truth. I don't tamper with people's private life. No. But when it comes to public money, when you don't practice what you preach, when you are trying to say you cannot obey the rules of law, we bring you here and we deal with you professionally. Now, here is still the same. You can go to UK Charity Commission yourself. Type in the names of these churches. Look at their activity. And you see that almost all the churches that have their headquarters in Nigeria, branches in UK or abroad, they use the abroad branch to siphon money to perform criminal operation. And now imagine a situation in a country where they are not even being held by law, where they are not accountable to anybody. Where they are not accountable to. So ìyẹn lè fi máa mọ̀ pé ó ń ṣe mí òun gbà mí láwọn èèyàn yìí, a ṣe ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹni tí ń ṣe ni tí ń gbá ni, eku ajẹnifẹ́ni ní gbogbo wọn. They are the one killing you. They don't want you to live. They don't want you to die. You know? And they call themselves your man of God. Now this is Christ Embassy, charity inquiry. You can go to Christ Embassy and do whatever we are doing. I have the link here. I'm using this particular link here. It's here. They're posting it on the screen. It's here. That's where I got it from. Christ Embassy, established in the UK in 1996 under some law. Now they have trustees. Imagine, at the time they launched inquiry into this church in 2012. Imagine, these are the people they call the board of trustees. It was Oyakilome himself that was doing the chairman there, trustees A, which is against the law because it's not a residence of UK. It has to be a residence of UK so that when they want to hold somebody, it is somebody who have their paper, with their citizen who lives there that they hold. Divorce by his wife is the second. Before it now got to this Pastor Obioma Emeka and the rest of them. And if you find it, these are people, members of their cult, because they don't put people who are not binding to them by blood in this kind of arrangement. They say their issue is under investigation since 2012. You will see a lot there. What are the findings? What are the findings? They use the one they register to be siphoning money into another one. So when you hear that your pastor, Chris Oyakilome, donated $1 million to Benin, either you pay it in Nigeria currency or you pay in foreign currency. Wake up, people, wake up. Wake up now, please. Wake up before it is too late. All in the name of Jesus. That your own reward is in heaven. The only reward you have is to rotting away in the grave. Speaking about so many atrocities they committed, their findings: administration, governance, and management of charity by trustees, specific regard to connected party transaction in respect of payment to Love World Limited, also known as Love World Television Ministry, register number, blah, 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 which is not what the initial arrangement was. You can take your time to read it. We have a long way to go on the show today. Now, what happened at the end of the day? They didn't comply with the law. So what did the UK Commission say? These are the conclusions. They said the inquiry concluded that there was serious, hear the word, serious misconduct and or mismanagement in the charities administration. The former trustees at the relevant times had not complied with or fulfilled their duties as trustees under charity law. They failed to, number one, exercise reasonable care and skill in the execution of their roles, and as a result, expose the charity to risk and financial loss. Ensure sufficient, they failed to ensure sufficient financial controls and procedure to protect the charity's property, file their annual accounting information in accordance to their statutory obligation on time. Secondly, thirdly, they failed to ensure that conflict of interest were effectively managed. There was a lot of conflict of interest. They failed to comply with planning law and regulation. They failed to address the need for health and safety compliance and the lack of adequate property and the rest of them. These are the highlights. But what are the regulatory action that is taken? They simply just apportion their board of trustees to someone else. In a nation that works, they cannot even go to court. They appoint the appointment of interim manager. What is the name of the interim manager that was given? OLUWASEUN of Maza LLP, interim manager, on the 6th of August 2017, under section 72, subsection 3G. They had to take management and all that. So whatever happened during this course of action, what happened is that they will allow the trustees to be talking about we want to give praise to God, praise and worship, religious aspect, while the interim manager talks about the money that is coming in through the, all the offering and all of those things, because these people cannot even be trusted with money. In the days of old, when we have a meeting or we have community, when you say you are a Christian, you are the one they put as treasurer and secretary. In these days, they cannot even trust you with a cover. In a nation that works. In a nation that works. You can see what these people are scared of. You can see what these people are scared of. What about this, our guy, our fall down and die guy, MFM guy? In 2018, the news has been making waves these days. In 2018, they opened a statutory inquiry against the church. Why? Late financial information filing, administrative failure resulting from significant loss. And they also discovered that under MFM, three trustees are actually getting paid. 3 board of trustees, which is contrary, are actually getting paid. Board of trustees are different from the employees of the organization. Those ones are different from the volunteers of the organization. So they had to launch. What is the solution? Interim manager was given to oversee, while the trustees continued the religious service. When the church cannot be trusted with money, under section 72, subsection 3G, this commission has been given the power to put up any interim manager that is worthy, manage the accountability, because the church money does not belong to God. That is the simplicity of the matter here. That is the simplicity of the church money. The money you give to church, the tithe, the offering, does not belong to God. It belongs to people. It is public fund. You as a pastor or the founder of an NGO, you are only a public officer. And you should give adequate public report every time. Transparency. So in a nation where you say we leave everything for God, in this kind of nation, Nigeria, where you believe so much in God that you don't even check and balance power, no ma pa anybody tí ò lè inquire, tí ò lè ask a question. Don't forget also that a few years ago, Inaka Costa, a member of MFM Church, this man's church, gave a detailed information on how this man commits huge fraud, according to resources in United States. So what they do is that all these, their 70-day fasting and prayer and how to pray your way into these things, all these their devotional books. What they say to the government of the United States is that we are bringing in devotional books to be given to people for free, just like those who bring their Bible to be given for free. So after they get into after those merchandise, let me call it indirect merchandise, get into the states, they now issue another letter to their pastors on how much they can sell so that they can evade tax. Finish Nigeria at the pastor at Yelemamu at Yemamu at Telebologun at Tenitosopo Yajesum or Daran. Must you always steal? Must you always steal? It seems that we deserve the kind of government we have, because this moral of is not present in our lives. And these are the things that your Bible calls abomination that causes desolation. It is widely found and majorly found in your churches. You are deceiving yourself. So having said that, we are bringing these materials in. It's just like oftentimes or many times, people from all over the world, they send us things from Germany, from Russia, and the rest of them are people, Nigerians. Maybe clothing, toys, shoes, materials. So take this, take it to IDP camps, give it to people living in ghetto. Let them have something to wear and all of those things. So when the stuff come into Nigeria under the guise of charity, let's now imagine that I now begin to put price on them to sell them. Because it came into Nigeria not as a goods for sale. We will not remit tax to government. So plus the tax, plus the money, I eat it. We don't do that. I'm just giving you allegory. So that's what these people do. High criminal, that's what they are. I hope you are sharing with your friends and family. That's what it is. Crashed Embassy, KICC, MFM, name it, Winners Chapel. Until it got to this point where the government of the nation is now tired. You don't know the reason why the government suddenly said, let's sign this thing into law. You don't know. There are things that the general public do not know that some of us with intelligence understand. Most churches in Nigeria, most mosques in Nigeria are the ones also sponsoring the terrorism going on in Nigeria. Why? They create artificial chaos so that you can begin to look for supernatural solution. They know as long as there is terror in the land, they can validate their Bible verse that say terrors of the day, arrows of the night. So you constantly go to church, mosque, you go to camp and all of those things, you go to Shiloh and the rest to go and pray for God's protection. And it then share the people that are killing you are the one you are going to pray with. What is Orisha Jaffo doing with plane loaded with guns, arms, and ammunition? What is he doing with it? What is the job of a pastor? To preach the word of whatever God he serves. How did we now begin to see arms and ammunition in the private jet of a pastor? Your money just disappeared from Nigeria to somewhere without being traced under the guise of this is a missionary flight. So we don't search it much. So the pastor you pray to and say are the ones that the politicians are using to take your money in the trillions out of the nation. So we say, please wake up. You don't want to wake up. Wake up. I don't deal with those myopic stuff. There is a big way and long way for us to go. Long way for us to go. So the government is saying we are trying our best. What is happening? So because they saw that the NGOs, all these charity bodies, churches, mosques, are fighting, jacking, or are the ones sponsoring these things, they say, let's put a clamp on. No, the funniest thing is that when this thing came, even mosque, the Muslim folks are also affected. Did you see them outside shouting and revolting? Just tell me one imam that is revolting. Somebody was sentenced to death on the account of blasphemy in Kano, a full human being, an African child. Oyedepo did not talk. Khan did not talk. As a matter of fact, they say they cannot answer to it. They cannot even put their mouth. When it comes to money, they shouted. They shouted. They were roaring like lions. Roaring like lions. That will take me to the very first video that we are going to be playing today. It is from your favorite pastor. And we will analyze the video. Stu has spoken extensively on it, and from there we'll move on to other matters of the day. We'll talk about the video, because this man is the one they call the lawless one. If you are looking for the lawless one, it should be this man. It should be this man. Coming right up, this is a video of your father in the Lord making a mockery of himself disgracing his generation unborn because of money. Just because why? They ask him for transparency and say, we want transparency. Enough of you. You obey the rule of law in another nation. Why is it hard for you to obey it here? Because they are all criminals. They know when people can have access or information into what they earn daily and how they spend it, they will not be able to finance their multiple private jets. Kini pastor on 5 private jets in share. Oh, bere. Ko shi opolo e ko ti e ji ko ma sun. You know how many houses they have?
Just before we leave, there was this sinister document that came on Company Allied Matters Act, CAMA. And the same thing that was done some years ago when the Holy Ghost instructed me to warn the people is being repeated here. This is one most undemocratic policy forever.
On that note, I would like us to ask this man, what is so undemocratic about government making law? Not a new law. Nigerians, hear me. This is not a new law. It was only being amended and laid emphasis upon. The other law he was talking about was when they say if the founder or the overseer of a certain non-government organization reach a certain age, it's only normal that you retire in Nigeria. Either as a government worker or it's only normal. But because of Jegudu Jera, because of what they are sitting on, they say it is a spiritual office. Why are you not running the office in heaven? You are running a spiritual office in a physical nation, and you don't want to abide by the rules and regulation that governs that nation, according to Romans chapter 13, verse 1 to 3, and you say you know your God and you only pátápátá làwọn ohun ìtẹ́ ń tẹ̀lé Ọlọ́run jẹ́ àgbọn. You call that undemocratic because they say now we will have access to how you spend money. Mind you, they did not say we will take money from you. There is nothing stating that you have to pay tax or you have to remit so amount to government. We are just saying we want to know how you spend people's money. Raise it from your mind as from the day that when you give tithe and offering and all that, that you are giving to God. God knows the spend. Who is God? Where is he? What does he? When I was in primary school, they say, Ọpẹ́ ló ń jẹ, Ọpẹ́ ló ń jẹ bàbá, èyí jẹ bà, èyí jẹ kọ́kọ́rẹ́ o, Ọpẹ́ ló ń jẹ rẹ̀, èyí jẹ bà, èyí jẹ kọ́kọ́rẹ́ o, Ọpẹ́ ló ń jẹ. That means that your God does not eat food. He only eats Thanksgiving. Nígbà on Thanksgiving, translate to Nigerian currency. When? This is why I don't believe in that God. Come on, changing like someone that is having issue. Let's continue with the video.
Supervising Minister of Company Act. Let me quickly correct. The church is not a company. You better understand.
All right, so your father in the Lord says something. First shot in his leg is to say that the church is not a company. What is a company? What is a company? Because when this man is quoting the book of Proverbs chapter, Hebrews chapter 10, talking about you have come to Mount Zion, the innumerable company of angels, church owns a company by him. So when you are working with someone, they say your companion, the company you are keeping. When you identify for a certain cause and you behave in a certain way, and you are more than one or two, we say you have started a company. It now depends if the company is profitable company or non-profiting company. So when your pastor, when Oyedepo is talking, he talks as if he's the only one who has sense. Simple English, no. So when you want to use the Bible verse to say you have come to Mount Zion, the innumerable company can also be say assembling of angels. It doesn't know that church is not a company at that time. Company. I want karamba. I do my things professionally so that he will know he's not the only learned person in this nation. It's a pathetic situation. Hey, let's continue. Let's hear what more he has to say.
That Registrar General has the power to remove trustees of the church and close the accounts of the church, and that does not require any court validation.
Thank you very much, sir, for making that blunder. Now, the Registrar General, in collaboration with supervising minister, any minister that is being set to supervise that operation, they have the audacity to give the management of the church fund, mosque fund, non-governmental organizations fund to an interim manager. It could be Deloitte, it could be all this. Mostly it will be an accounting firm to audit, to peruse, to balance the sheet of that particular organization for the sake of transparency, accountability, and filing of paper back to the government until they learn how to keep good record. Government cannot close your account. Come on. You cannot close your account. The only thing that can happen is that at that time, you cannot access money from the account until the interim manager gives you approval and in collaboration with the knowledge of the government. Why? Because you have been given your slot and chance and you blew it. And the interim government, this is the good news, the interim manager will not be there forever. They will still return it back to you when they have constituted new board of trustees that is responsible. So when we find one of your when we find one of your board of trustees who is not meant to be taking salary, we say what? We say we take this one off, we replace it with this one. When we see people who are not qualified, either by law, either they have committed feloniable treason or something, we remove those ones. We replace it with another one you recommend, whom we have searched their background and know that they are not criminals. Some people are not even in capacity to stand as a trustee of some level of organization because organizations have levels by level. Do not allow Oyedepo to use his snake tongue to mess you up. He's just a stinking liar, coining everything the way he wants. And the funniest thing is that he knows Nigeria will not go and read. You can download the PDF of this particular CAMA2020 on the internet. It is free for all. If you are having doubt about it, give it to a lawyer to interpret for you. It is simple. It is simple. Let's continue. So it's not the way he painted it.
Well, I know this must be somebody that woke up from the wrong side of the bed. Please note, this is a warning from the Lord, so I can be free from your blood. This will never work. Never work.
You know the funniest thing about these church people is that part of those people who are saying amen, lawyer, no. Some of those people who are standing in front of this man, some of them are working in corporate affairs organization. Those people who are shouting them because only want to they have taken Saturday from them and they gave them Wednesday. In fact, if they gave them Friday, we will say they can augment it. In fact, they return them back to Monday. And the funniest thing is that issues like this are not even meant to be addressed by the pastor. Doesn't your church have a law arm or lawyer? It is your lawyer that is ready, that will be able to interpret this stuff. But unfortunately, we want to go ministry. We want to go these companions of fools. It is a pitiable situation. Now, what is the audacity of a pastor who is running a church inside the nation to tell the government that what the government says cannot work? Remember Romans chapter 13, 1 to 3. Let's go on.
Now, please note, the church runs on the patterns delivered by God. He says, see that you do all things according to the pattern shown to you on the mountain.
Thank you. All right. When they are running this same church in UK, like I showed you earlier, does it look like one angel from heaven came to drop a pattern and said, this is the pattern of God? Funniest thing is that he's quoting the book, the life of Moses. So I'm asking, why don't you take take your church to where God is? Patterns of God. When there is an established authority, when the government of the nation where you run your church, where you make your money, is saying this is what we want you to do, you are saying patterns of who is God. According to Romans chapter 13, who is this God? The authority in place. So when you jack against the church, when you jack against the authority in place, you jack against the God. This man does not know God. Just don't forget about it. Let's continue.
Moses went to the Lord, set a man over this congregation, not to government. Government has no power to appoint people over churches. No power at all.
What about the government? What about the government of UK? What about the government of UK? Those ones are angelic government. They have power to appoint people over churches. He said Moses went to God. Why did you go to government to go and collect Corporate Affairs Commission certificate? Why don't you go to that God to go and collect Corporate Affairs? As long as you went to Corporate Affairs Commission to collect certificate to be able to run your organization in a nation, you abide by the regulations that governs the Corporate Affairs Commission, not according to the regulation of any God somewhere. Lawlessness, tyranny, treasonable felon. When you want to start living faith worldwide, did you go to church to God to go and collect CAC certificate, or you went to the government? So government is now talking to you, you say, nah. You are not aware.
This is a secular nation. Freedom of worship is one of our fundamental human rights in this country. This is a sinister, demonic attempt to stifle the church. The church is one of the greatest assets of this nation today. Yes.
Talking about asset. Is church assembly like a gate? Please share this. It reaches wider coverage of people, and then it sets much more people free. Send it to their DM or whatever it is. You say church is the greatest asset to the nation. In what sense? I want people at home to contribute to this. How is the church the greatest asset to the nation? Is the church paying a dime in terms of tax to the government of the nation? That's all for me. I'm telling you the truth. If you are running ordinary wig business, or it is cream mixing business you are doing, and you register in this nation, and you pay your tax, you are more significant and more important than any church combined together in this nation. The church is like a thief. It steals, it kills, it destroys. Church is like a grave. It collects, never satisfied. It gives nothing back to anybody. Nothing. You will say they employ people. Compare the numbers of people employed by the church to the numbers of people who are giving into the church. How much money does the church remit to the government purse in terms of tax? And you said the church is the greatest asset to the nation. Go to Lagos Ibadan Expressway, 3 kilometers by 3 kilometers, that was built just for you to come and kneel down and pray. You behave like a Susie. When the same 3 kilometers by 3 kilometers can be used to do, if it is only watermelon, we are using 3 kilometers by 3 kilometers to plant. North. Even if it is egusi, if it is ordinary melon, even if we say, okay, it is only cucumber. Do you know how many duration of cucumber? Cucumber takes 1 month and 7 days to get to the marketable stage. 1 month, 7 days. Do you know how many 1 month, 7 days you will see in a year? Let's use 3 kilometers by 3 kilometers to do such a project. And begin to look around, make researches about cucumber. Extract for so many scientific projects. Let's even, okay, we are not doing cucumber. Let's even be planting toothpick. Let's use the 3 kilometers by 3 kilometers to be planting toothpick. We have the best of trees here. So we'll be exporting our own toothpick with some little addition. So from there, when we export, we pay tax, we increase the GDP of the nation. You are telling me a place where you collect is the greatest asset. The church is nothing but a grave. The mosque is nothing but a grave in every African country and nation. They take from you, they give nothing back. They destroy your ability to think. Ray Higgins called it paralysis of analysis, where a full-grown human being who went to school, who is holding PhD, will be thinking like a fool when these so-called men of God stand before them. In that congregation of people shouting, lawyer wa nu won. Wa ma ro pe ki lo tori e law school láti lọ ka law. Mo jẹ́ pé bóyá ma ronú bí arìndèrè. Kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Nigerians, please wake up. Please wake up. A ò gbọ́dọ̀ fele lọ́mọ lọ́wọ́. We cannot wield this our attitude to our children. We will be raising generations of nincompoops who are very, very inferior to their global contemporaries. It shouldn't be. Ó yẹ kó ojú má tì wá. Ó yẹ kí ojú kó má tì wá. Let's hear him more.
Please be warned. I have that prophetic obligation. Wherever the gang up may come from, be warned. Be warned. Judgment is closer than ever. Be warned.
This man, this Mr. Akala that is talking, is the funniest human being I've seen in my life. Oyedepo. I encountered Oyedepo in 1999 when they started the foundation laying of Shiloh. This man have no human empathy. The story is for another day. Do you know how many times this man has caused Boko Haram? Do you know how many times this man has threatened the president of this nation? This is 28th of August 2020 that he will die. Àlàyé in bounds. Bí ìgbà tẹ́ pé gbogbo èpè tí wọ́n ń ṣe fún gúnugún bàbá ara ló fi ń san ni. The more they cost Buhari, the more he's bouncing back. So you stay on your altar, that your red carpet, with your red lab coat. Only God knows the ailment you are suffering from that you are using the lab coat to cover. You are threatening someone, saying be one. Who are you to warn somebody else? Who are you to warn people? Because they say obey the rules and regulation that governs the nation. They want disgrace family and generation unborn. Do these people know that whatever they do is on internet? Oh.
I have been still, God said, and I've long time held my peace. But now will I arise as a travailing woman. Yes. Anybody that may have been bought with money, whatever thing it is, that's a part of this deal, is poison you are toying with. The bad news for all of them is that it will not work. Amen. Hallelujah. This will never work. Never.
See people, you see people, never, one phone back up. If it does not work, it is to the detriment of your children and grandchildren. I beg, Bomi, if this does not work, if this set of human beings defund or choke this development from working, it is the common men and the masses that will suffer it. It is your grandchildren that are yet to be born that will suffer, because they will look back and say, where were you, daddy, when this was proposed and it did not work? So if Nigeria will be good, it's in our hands. If it will not be good, if it is in our hands. Unfortunately, we do more things not to make the nation work than for it to work. We do more things not to make it work than for it to work. So people stay there and say it will never work. Do they even understand? See, this is the first time most of them are hearing about this thing. This man read this thing according to his sentimental interpretation, and you join hand with him and say it will never work. It will never work. A church that cannot submit to the government of the nation in which it is running is not a church. It is a terrorist organization. I'm saying that again. A church that cannot submit to the rules and regulation and the guidance or the monitoring or supervision of the government where it is running is not a church. It is a terrorist organization. An organization that is being set up to kill, maim, destroy people, either in terms of their financial capacity, mental capacity, or the extent to which they can attain or reach freedom or liberty. Unfortunately, these are the very people that are saying it should not work. It is a pitiable piece. I'm
waiting for a day where anybody, by whatever name, will appoint a trustee in this ministry. Just before we leave.
Well, there's a part you also said, were you there when Jesus called him and all of those things? Were you there? Why don't you carry your church and go to the nation where your Jesus is? Carry your church and go to the nation where your Jesus is. Unfortunately, the nation where your Jesus came from they are not even a Christian nation. So these are the people that you give your money to. So before you complain that the church is before you complain that the nation is not working, ask, what is the contribution of you as an individual and those you call your fathers in the Lord, or those you call your fathers in the Lord? This is a man so many of you reverse. Our daddy in the Lord. So when they get outside the nation, they obey rules and regulation. Can he even say it? Can he even make that threat? Can he even make such threat in other country? Or be by any alemu na landlady. Any alemu and landlady. All right, moving on. Moving on today. You see, I have discovered that Nigerians as a whole, they are typical example of, we don't mind if we suffer, Just give us some little break to get back. And this is the reason why I'll be playing. I'll play a certain video for you. It's funny, but this is the reality of Nigeria. We'll consider this as a short break. It's about a young man who you will see for yourself. Look at the situation of every Nigerian right now. Look at the situation of all Nigerians right now. I'm going to be displaying it and you will see for yourself. Then we move on to other matters arising in the nation. I hope you can see very well. It seems a little bit tiny there. All right, so check it out. I hope you got the scope of what happened right there. Do you get what happened there? The guy was in pain or whatever it is. It's not convenient. It's not satisfied with. He needed something so badly. He needed a change. He needed something. He needed maybe food or something from his parents, something. And suddenly when they started saying the national anthem of the nation, the guy pretended as if nothing is wrong. That when we are okay, everything is fine. And at the end of the national anthem, he resumed back to his sorrow, his turmoil, his sadness, his tears, his pain, his suffering, which is the reality of most Nigerians. Reality of most Nigerians. Suffering and smiling. The suffering has become so part and parcel of most Nigerians that if they don't suffer anymore, they believe they are suffering, they have spiritual attack. If they don't suffer anymore, they believe they have spiritual attack. So they feel part of life is suffering. So the story of an average Nigerian is like a certain servant who is slaving for a rich man. And when they go out, the rich man will say, my servant, my slave, my slave. So the guy, very close to his master, said, I'm almost like a son to you. Why do you always refer to me as a slave? And the master said, I'm sorry for that. It's an oversight. Truly, you should be a son already. You should be free. So no problem. Whenever we go out now, you will not dress like my slave. So whatever they give me is what they'll be giving you. So the master went out with this slave the next time. And they served them, they were eating. All of a sudden, some people ran into the house and say, who came with that madman wearing so much expensive clothes, but sitting in a corner where slaves sit to eat and eating his food with his hands? And this rich man looked by himself and did not see a servant or slave. And people started shouting, you this slave, how did you steal the clothing of your master? How do you look so elegant but behave like this? You are a slave. And the slave came to the master and said, why did you leak my secret to them? Why did you tell people that I'm a slave? And the master said, it is not me. With your behavior, you will surely tell your people who you are. So most of Nigerians live in chain and bondage when they don't know. Something is happening in the nation right now, in the political scene. And that's where we'll be going into this particular very awesome drama king of us. I love his charisma, actually, the way he moves and the things he do. Here is our Honorable Minister of Transportation, Mr. Rotimi Ameachi. Is the one we'll be dealing with, right? This is the Honorable Minister of Transportation in charge of connecting us all together. So when your road is bad, there is pothole, you don't pray to God, you don't cover your vehicle with the blood of Jesus. This is man to hold responsible. This is the man to hold responsible, not God. Blood of Jesus, there is nothing like blood-sucking demon. Can I hear your amen? There is nothing like blood-sucking demon. The only demon that is sucking your blood is the government of the nation, because there is no good road, or your own anxiety or negligence. So you went to the bus stop or the garage, enter a bus or a taxi that is being driven by a man to Tishayo or the Louis or uncover blood-sucking demon. And to my sucky blood, we share motile, o koko motifi telekun, o to ma fi eje top when sing. No blood-sucking demon anyway. The road is bad, you are praying against blood-sucking demon. Now, what is happening with our Honorable Minister Chibuke Rotimi Ameachi? The House of Rep summoned this man. He was summoned recently to come and explain some money. The committee was set up, and the chairman of the committee happens to be a PDP person. You know the personal vendetta politics they play in Nigeria. So the committee is alleging the Honorable Minister of tendering the total amount of $33 billion for a project. So they want to appropriate it. $33 billion for a project. So the minister, Honorable Rotimi Ameachi, said, no, that's so far so good under Buhari administration. There is a reason why we are inculcating politics into Wake Up Nigeria, Wake Up Africa. That the reason why that so far so good under Buhari administration, the project that they have, awarded is the Lagos-Ibadan Railway project, and it's only going to cost 1.6 billion. I'm a storyteller. You might not read it in a very good way, so I'm interpreting to you. That is going to cost $1.6 billion. Now, the total workforce needed was about 21,000 plus. So they said, currently, 20,000 Nigerians are working on the railway, where, translating to provision of job, a contract job, so to say, not a permanent job. Because that 20,000 Nigerians are working on the railway. However, 560 workers were imported from China to work on the same railway. 560 workers were imported from China. How many Nigerian workers are working on government projects in China? Now, the total money they needed for this railway is $1.6 billion. Ask me how much did Nigeria government put down? They put down only $400 million. Only $400 million. Who is bearing the cost of the rest? The Chinese government. Chinese government gave a whole bunch of $1.2 billion. Billion langpeo, ema binu ti mo so Yoruba o atabatubu owo ti nteru boshire o. $1.2 billion was given by Chinese government for a railway from Lagos to Ibadan to Lagos. While Nigeria could only dip their hand into top pocket of all the money of all the money Abacha has been returning even after his death, we could only afford to put down 400 million. When you do business with Chinese, they don't do business with you so that you can pay back. They do business with you so that you can take over. What it Nigeria emo, engile efura. An average Nigerian is a Chinese citizen, so to say. So let's say at the end of the day, the agreement is ceding that particular property to Chinese government if knowing fully well that we lack maintenance culture in Nigeria. And that the government worker will not allow the thing to run the way it should run. At the end of the day, when it runs into a loss, the Chinese government will now have to take it over. Now the property and the infrastructure will be managed by Chinese government. When they manage this, their law is what applies to that passageway until they realize their money. Drive according to their own rules and regulation. If they begin to mount towing, I don't. Because this money, the disparity between 400 to 1.2 billion, $400 million to 1.2 billion. Now, that is what they are dealing with the honorable minister with. Now, the honorable minister in his defense said, no, it is not at the $3 billion, it is just $1.6 billion, and this is it and that. However, just like Oyedepo, Adeboye, the rest of them are the one killing you and saving you at the same time. The very committee that are supposed to supervise and checkmate the honorable minister are the very one lobbying for the contract. I will show you a video. So when we say you wake up Nigeria, is a lot of things. It's coming right back. We're bringing it. Now, this is a short drama. I call it a short melodrama. Don't mind the attitude of the honorable minister. Act like, he's a drama king sometimes, but he knows what he's saying. Now, hear this carefully, please. Hear it carefully. These are the very ministers who are querying and supposed to checkmate the honorable minister. However, hear what the honorable minister has to say about these same people. Did you hear what the honorable minister is saying? He said, you set up a committee. He said, you will lose that contract. That means that the man who is interviewing the honorable minister is actually lobbying for a contract. How people know my power? They are not sure. Àánú ṣe mí mo sáré púpọ̀ ó ṣe. Àánú ṣe mí mo sáré púpọ̀. Wọ́n ti lu Nigeria gbàǹjo. Wọ́n ti lu Nigeria. They are selling this country in second hand. You as a Nigerian, home or abroad, you are worth less than $1. $1. Do you know how much they sell $1 now? Do you know how much? So I'm giving you expo, those people who are living abroad. This is the best time for you to pump money home. Naira to fall. Unfortunately, pricing can you are the same way. Your money can give you double and triple now. You want to build house, this is the time for you to build house, to buy the land, to do business. Come pump the dollar in. Take advantage of the weakness of the Naira. It's the same money you are sending, but you are getting more. When COVID started, what did I say to you guys? What did I say? I said there are two currencies you must change your excess money to. If you have excess Naira, change it to US dollar or China currency. Because at the end of COVID, you'll be the one to gain. Those who use that advice, they are thanking me now. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a financial analyst. But I look at things. So can you see? The very people who are supposed to checkmate the honorable minister are the one who are going behind to say, give us this. So this politics of personal vendetta that they do in Nigeria, because you did not give me, I will expose you. Hear it again, please. Baba expose here. The Mr. Chairman has actually approached this, our Honorable Minister, for South Rail, wanting to be the one who do the Lagos Rail from the railway from Lagos to Calabar. Maybe because that one is not yielding. The thing I want you Nigerians to know is that both the minister and the committee, they don't like us. It's their pocket they are fighting for. It's because their matter did not agree. That's why we are hearing their story. The same with the pastors too. The moment there is a government, when Jonathan was in government, and both Jonathan and the churches and the rest were killing Nigerians, we did not hear anything. They don't like us. Our interest is not part of what they are debating. It's just their own. You are a movie people if you don't wake up. These people are serving into your hands. Every Thursday, no. Jobo Amamuwa will be bringing this kind of what is going on every Thursday. Let's finish watching this drama, please.
Listen, we will not be generating issues to South. Have you not approached me on South Rail? You have approached me.
Did you hear anything similar from what happened when what do you call it? Akpabio was talking. It's okay. The chairman suddenly said, we will not degenerate this issue to South Rail and all that. Why did you call the man? Are you not calling him to come and give account of what he has been doing? And he decided to now open the can of worm, and he now says it's okay. Every spirit of it's okay in Nigeria, they will be exposed. Can I hear your amen? Somebody is asking if we are done with Christianity. Yeah, the issue of Christianity, we are done with that one. Thank you very much for holding on. We'll bring Christianity, we'll bring the matters arising, and we move on to something else. Now, we move on. That's for the Rotimi Ameachi. Something happened. For you to know that as a Nigerian, you are a less privileged human being. They say if you are born in Nigeria, life is already leading you 1-0. That if you are born in Nigeria, that life is already leading you 1-0. Let's move on to this next matter. Moving on to this next matter. Who could you see here? You see the first lady and the first nephew, so to say. First lady and the first nephew. That's what you see there, right? While you are shouting under the canopy, while men are sleeping, do you know how many people needed access to international health care during the time of lockdown? Do you know that the reason why they allow people fly in from abroad when COVID was ravaging and killing people is because their children are locked outside? Until they have all their family members inside, they did not lock the border. Because to ban kankan someone like AG, when you begin to scheme evil for someone else, the rest is with you. You think you are wise. You are a woman. Just like what's the name of Dokubo said. It has started again. They say this woman, the first lady of Nigeria, that she's having neck pain. Because of neck pain, the protocol flew the woman to Dubai. Can your own mother, Nigerians, you are listening, can your own mother spin her leg and they say because of her, they want to break the protocol of Nigeria? So you wonder why our young ones want to make money at all costs so that they can have power, authority, and say, these are the people provoking them because they give rules and laws that they don't obey. The other man is Mama Dahura. That is the first nephew of our nation, the nephew of the president. So when we look at it from the front and back, we realize that even the church is not to be blamed by being a tyrant against the nation, because the government of the nation is also like a non-living thing, a dead set of people who are so conscience dead and wicked, who will do things to favor them, only to favor them. They will release you people to go out because their children need to resume school abroad. So they will open borders soon. Their children need to resume school. If USA and UK refuse to call up the lockdown, they will still restrict you down here. But now, session will resume. They need their children to travel. So that's why they open border. So when we say, G, wake up Nigeria, it's not because of us. We say it because of you. These two people are not in Nigeria currently because they are not common men, ordinary human beings like you. It seems their own life is more valuable than the life of any other person in this nation. It seems when it comes to presidency and their family, the nation was built for them alone, not for the common man. So when they want to make law, they make law for their own benefit, not because they love you. And you can rise up with your power of occupancy, occupy the street. Occupy the street. And tell them enough is enough. But when will you? Because you are scared. You were told, pastor is or a pastor. You that. Ṣé ìwọ tó yẹ pé ò tiẹ̀ lè lanu bá pásítọ̀ ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ pé pásítọ̀ èyí tẹ́ ẹ ṣe yòókù díẹ̀ káàtó la fẹ́ wá sọ wípé kó wá lọ máa bájọba sọ̀rọ̀. You know the people who cannot talk, who have power but cannot use it, they call them dead alive, òkú ayé. They are dead while they are walking corpse, òkú ayé. Majority of Nigerians are just òkú ayé. Are just òkú ayé. That's why I'm going to be showing you this particular video. You see, this video is the funniest thing that happened in this week. And you'll see it yourself. You'll see it yourself. I'll be right back. Let me project it for you. From there, we'll round up and I'll let you go. See you next Thursday that we'll meet again. This is the funniest video. Yeah. I hope you are hearing what they are saying. Their transformer is bad. The problem there is that their transformer is bad. They now gather themselves, prayer warriors. Prayer warriors. You know what they are doing? They are praying that every power that is making the transformer to misbehave should die by fire. What happened to Nigerians? Let's be reasonable. What happened to Nigerians? What happened to Nigerians? I'll play it again. You see, they are speaking Yoruba, so most of you might not understand, but I will start from beginning and I will give you interpretation. This is a transformer, Timna Wale, that these people are praying for. They are not praying for. I hope you can. I hope you can see what just happened now. Now, what basically they were doing is, for those who don't understand Yoruba, they gathered themselves together. They are praying for every demonic spirit that is disturbing their transformer. If the transformer about weak, if your transformer is weak, you go and buy another one. We just bought a transformer in my own estate now. Just the other day, we were talking about it on Upside Conversation. We needed 6 million. We ran around. Transformer is there. We are just waiting for Ministry of Mines and whatever it is to come and investigate it so that it can connect it to the agreed. That's all. Nobody prayed. So when you want to travel, you cover the road with the blood of Jesus. Pray against blood-sucking demon. Once you are getting it, they have gotten you to the point of you are now praying against power that is holding transport. You are praying for, you have, give up. Nigerian. This is absolutely absurd, and it is the highest level of depravity. I don't know what they were saying. Level at what they generator. When your pastor, I cannot blame you. Oyedepo, no, Adeboye said he did not have gas in his vehicle and he drove from Lagos to Shagamu. Empty tank here. Baba will empty your tank. Come and do the miracle again. When they told you Jesus disappeared into the sky, a human being evaporated, you didn't ask questions. They gave you a book and told you jealousy is a sin, but they said the Lord your God is jealous. It's a jealous God. You did not ask, how can you call such a God a righteous one? You don't, they have wanted the frontal lobe is messed up. That's the situation of Nigeria now. The situation of the country called Nigeria now. Meanwhile, the rich are getting richer. Poor are getting poorer. They are not even getting poorer. The rich are getting richer. Poor are praying more. I've told you people that praying to God is a symptom of mental problem. Some of you, your phone will be spoiled. You'll be praying to God. It's like high school student, no develop phone in China. Tonkowabi, something they used to do experiment. You will be praying for it. You will be praying for NEPA to bring light. Are you aware that there are some estates or places in this Nigeria that they don't blink their light? Imagine, you are praying for electricity. You are praying for electricity. I saw some people the other day, the children, the SS3 and GSS3 students want to start their examination, and somebody is selling them spiritual material to pass. When these children were busy watching Big Brothers Nigeria and all this nonsensical Z word throughout the COVID time, Emma failed that. Unfortunately, it is not because they want to wicked you that you have to give yourself space in examination. It is statutory. COVID is outside. Oh, kawe o basi. One fail be. One fail to do your bottom. Praying for everything. That's how you go and pray for life partner. You will now marry one woman beater and be saying, God, why me? Why me? Because you don't understand human resources management. We'll be rounding up very soon. While Nigerians are praying, while Nigerians are busy praying vehemently for a change, going to camp every Friday, cannot wait to resume church, while Nigerians cannot wait to go and waste their money again, worship their pastors again, mess their life up again. A very small nation A very, very minute nation, the least expected nation in Africa, decided to say enough is enough. Mali, they took their president off. They did not pray. They did not fast. They took to the street since July. The military took over and said enough is enough. To get by. Olórin kan ni ó ní ó tó gẹ́, ó tó gẹ́, ó ti tó gẹ́. Ìbànújẹ́ nínú ayé mi ó tó gẹ́. Àṣedànù nínú ayé mi ó tó. This is the song you should be singing as a Nigerian now. 2023 is coming. They are bringing you one man from Bodilon again. That's that. Nigeria. Go and ask them from. Go and ask. Hello, was Zimbabwe. Go and ask the experience of South Africa. Chinese people are now the one controlling the electricity grid of South Africa. Is it ESCOM or something? Chinese people have taken over the airport of Zimbabwe. Is it Uganda? They took over their broadcasting corporation. Hey, them awesome. Enjoy them, come manage. Are you aware that Chinese people have their police station in some nation in Africa? They have the right to arrest you. They have the right to arrest you. And I told you, if Chinese people want to take over Africa, or cost one, they have one of the most strongest genes. They can use biological weapons to take over Africa. All they need to do is just to flood into Africa. Maybe there's poverty in the land, so our women will sell their sexuality for anything. They pump in their men here, sleep with their women. Let them give birth to Blasians. The Blasians are Nigerians by citizenship. Bring the Blasian back to China. Let's crossbreed the Blasian with a full Asian. Having full Asian blood. Now let's take the full Asian blood back to Nigeria because he's also a Nigerian. And let's see how Chinese people will not contest for governorship and presidency in Nigeria. Mark my word for it. They don't even need money to come. You go to Ogun State or your state. You as a Nigerian, they cannot lease land for you or sell for you, but they will sell land for Chinese people and even give them papers. They will give them C of O. They will sell land for these people. I told you Chinese are coming. I have never said anything that didn't come to pass. I'm not a prophet. I don't believe in that God. But I reason with my head. Mokojorimi, pemi no, kawe Mokojorimi, pemi no, kawe Ìwé làgbà ọjọ́ orí máa ló jẹ́ bàbá. Ìwé làgbà ọjọ́ orí máa ló jẹ́ bàbá o. Ọ̀kọ́gbọ́n orí mi, bẹ́mi náà o. Kàwé o. They are coming, they will come, and that's all. I won't say more than that. While you are busy praying to God to come to your rescue, while you are busy getting ready to go and attend Congress, Shiloh and the rest of them. Not to my best experience, Jade said, Malian said, we are not doing again. You, this government, the president has been in power since 2013. They said, it's okay. We are not doing again. Let the United Nations do their worst, but we'll take you out of it. Now, in a nation where they have told the people in government that the power belongs to the people, those who will be replaced by the government will be accountable to the people. What is Nigeria doing? Ordinary revolution now, you cannot do successfully. Because why? You have been conquered at home. Where you live in a family setting where your father is doing something wrong, you as a child or even the wife cannot say, Baba Lagbaje, I'm the man of the house. Man of the house will kill so many people. Now they have used that to take away your confidence, your self-esteem, and for the local society. So they send you to school and the teacher is asking you any question, all of you say, no, sir. Oh, the Montokwe, you don't know Chibai, you go, Boshilolo. I'm a faculty officer, F9, Kakiri. Ordinary simple English. Some of you cannot type correct one sentence on Facebook. And then okay. And then okay. Ah, oh my shit. Problem what? Problem what? In closing for today, I will show you this so that you know the reality of evil that we are facing in a country called Nigeria. And if we don't act now, we will never get it right again. Nigeria is already sinking. Have you watched Titanic before? Nigeria that be Titanic. Look at this. Check this out. I'm going to enlarge it for you to see. I don't know how they came about this particular index or whatever. So, Cable Index, Nigeria unemployed by educational qualification. Educational qualification, we have the artisans, so thank you. Uneducated Nigerians, that's 3.373 million. Primary school leaving Nigerians, 3.18 million. Secondary school certificate holder, 8.14 million. If you read primary school, if you are secondary school holder in Nigeria, it's more or less like you have primary 2 education, because education is this education. In Wolo school, in Kababio, they are telling you to be drawing grass cutter. You say you are educated. Are you with me? You are in school, you are drawing cockroach, draw and label. You say you are educated. Oh no, I educated. That's why they put some things online and so many of you read it wrongly, because you don't even know how to comprehend English language. Holding secondary school certificate in Nigeria of this standard is like being in primary 2. My daughter will floss so many secondary school leavers. In this Nigeria, go and check schools where you school to be asbestos. To ban asbestos in school, if they use asbestos to create your class, be thankful. Directly, the way the solar system is coming, with all this pan, not this Dangote pan, roofing, all this aluminum roofing is going into your medulla oblongata straight. Uyama boiling. And fortunately, they will now put mathematics in a period of afternoon. Problem what? I've been offline for a while because some of you have the audacity and the God to hold my relative in hostage because of what I do online. So I want you to do your worst. We'll keep talking here. But I don't want to dwell on that because NCE holder is 2.1 million in Nigeria. Bachelor degree holder, 2.48 million. Master degree holder, 120K. Lakuli Jalailu. Only 120,000 Nigerians living in Nigeria have master's degree. Only 18,000 human beings. Only 18,000 human beings. Only 18,000 human beings could afford to do PhD. Even those 18,000 who are PhD, they are in Chilo, they are in redemption camp, shouting never, never on things that could better the life of people. Ordinary penicillin, we are not creating in Nigeria. Ordinary penicillin. I'm saying ordinary toothpick. These 18,000 PhD holder have not written a thesis or produced anything whatsoever. Let's say Madagascar produce a COVID, whatever, they say it's a lie and all that. They shall produce something. You have no God to produce anything. Ordinary paracetamol, you go to China to go and manufacture it. And one money talk about chemistry, cream along lórí internet. Let's check out the employment or unemployment rate. Let me remove this one. Lest I forget, please support this platform. Support the platform. We have the account number written here. Please put in your token on this platform so that we can make it more professional and be able to afford whatever necessary to bring it. Now, we're talking about the major result now. Nigerians that are unemployed by gender, 9.5 million human males who are supposed to be married. Wọ́n níṣẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ jẹ́ kí wọ́n marry. Ọkọ wa máa sálé, ìyàwó máa sọ pé dádì wa máa ń kanra. Dádì yín ò ṣe ní kanra. Dádì yín ò ṣe ní kanra nígbà tí ò sówó lọ́wọ́ bàbá. So many men in Nigeria are suffering from lack of libido, not because they cannot do, but because they are emotionally absent. But you will say you want to lose weight. You, Nigerian woman, they say you want to lose weight. Mo fẹ́ lose weight gan. Mo fẹ́ burn calorie. Oh, lè burn calorie. Torí gàrí ló mu lásán, gàrí ló mu láàárọ̀, ẹ̀bà fùfú ló ń jẹ lálẹ́. You, all of you, are now creating market for those who sell. Is it waist trainer? Kí lẹ̀ ń train nínú waist? Jẹun tó dáa, kò síṣẹ́ ọwọ́, kò sí nada. Ẹ jẹ́ abayín sòótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀. Àwọn people ti bá yín jẹ́ kọjá average. Female, 12.2 million. Unemployed human being. Now, these are people who went to at least primary school. Tí wọn ò ríṣẹ́, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ni ò rí tí ò lè lọ school rárá. They cannot go to school at all. Nigeria is messed up. So government is saying, those people you are giving your 10% to, we want to see what they are doing with it. Your pastor is saying the church is the greatest asset of the nation. But co reflect inú ayé yín. You people are going to church to go and pray for job. But ayé yín ló dàbí mọ́tò Mercedes Benz tí ó ayé àtijọ́ yìí. The government is saying, we want to see what they are using your money for. You say, no. If you are a Christian, you should fight against CAMA. We say you occupy the street. You say, no. Má lọ bá wọn o, má pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ yẹn o, àwọn ọmọ jàgídíjàgan. Ìwọ náà má jẹ ọ̀pọ̀ tọrọ ìyá mi tó wà. Nations that are recording improvement today, they got it by violence. They demanded for what they need. They occupied the street when they needed it. They went to war when they needed to. By the way, I'm not sorry to say, Nigeria still need one more coup d'etat. I need one more coup. And we don't need outright democracy. We need what we call partial autocracy. Because, most people, we need someone who can come and cleanse something. We need someone who can come and cleanse something. We need someone who can come and clear all these things. With that, we bring the program to a close. But for the benefit of those who are able to comment with us, Moses says saying Nigeria is ready for change. God help Nigeria. God will not help Nigeria, sorry to say. Nigerians should help Nigeria. Nigerians should help Nigerians. Moyo is saying they are busy killing enemies of progress on mountains. Unfortunately, the enemies of progress are waxing stronger. They are waxing stronger. Mojisola say, my days, Nigeria is messed up, or my days in Nigeria is messed up. All right. So I've seen a lot of comment by Celestine today. Let me read comment from Celestine. This is paralysis of analysis. Thank you. When your ability to think between the line is being paralyzed. I posted something today, and the person was telling me, can I recommend a book for her to read so as to confirm this? I said, you don't need any book. The book you need is you, and it's within you. Say, what is the book? I said, common sense. The one who will write the book for you use their sense. What stops you from using your own sense? If only 50% or 20% of Nigerians can be using their sense, all these people will shiver. They will run for their lives. They will run for their life. They will run for their life. Folakemi is saying that this is sad, very sad indeed. Talking about the video we showed earlier, Prince Nehemiah is saying, when I saw this video, I gave up on religion. Religion, folks. Samson Kayode is saying, wake up. Thanks for this. The system is built to favor the high and mighty. Churches only take on government when there is a clash of interest, as it is with the new CAMA2020. No one really cares about the people. Nobody cares. Nobody loves you. Nobody can send it over. The hope of your pastor is that just come to church. If you die of COVID or not, just bring my money. I need money. I need money. So this person who asked if I'm done with Christianity, if it's concerning the program here, we're done with it. If it's concerning my own lifestyle, yes, I'm also done with it. The answer to everything is yes, 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 yes. All right. Talking about Oyedepo the other time when he was saying nobody had the right to appoint somebody over the church, we were saying that did you get your certificate from God or you got it from the government? So Celestine is also saying that please ask him where his organization is registered. You can't register organization in Nigeria and say you cannot obey the government. All right. So this is a very awesome, awesome comment. This person is saying, Adetono Adedayo is saying, Company and Allied Matters Act 2020, not a Buhari fan because I don't view what he's doing for the country. But if this truly holds and stand with the right motive, this will be one of the best things. I'm telling you, my brother, if this can hold, if we can have a contemporary of the charity commission like they have in UK, US, Canada, and the rest of them, why not? In a situation whereby your tithe and your offering goes to charity, they return some part of it for you because it is charity. Tithe and offering abroad is not going to God, it's going to charity. They reduce your tax because of that. What are the government telling you? They are telling you that so Nigerians will leave Nigeria, go abroad and be saying, Baba. Some of you will go and be whether you'll be giving birth to children, knowing government will take care of you and all that. Some of you will live here and say, some of you are not even homosexual, will go there and say you're homosexual and say you okay. You cross the border from America to Canada and say okay and all that. Everybody is so selfish in Nigeria. We only look for we are so pesty in nature. We pest. We pest. I have a first-hand experience with most major chunk of the cash we use to run the organization we run here, Crystal Love Foundation, comes from Nigerians in diaspora. Why? Because they have a lifestyle of this must go back to the people. They have a lifestyle of giving back to the people. But Nigeria, yeah, I want to buy any. All right, so do we have new comments here? Thank you. All right, so that's it. They will collect from you. Now, we're using this medium to now say to people, right, if you want this program to come on and on, you want to reach out to us, the WhatsApp number to reach out through is scrolling underneath. You want to call me, we want to talk about things together, Wednesday and Saturday, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. That's when I'm available. We run corporate, we run NGO in this on this platform also. Our NGO is called Crystal Love Foundation. And I want to show you a few of the things that we have done in the past, and I'll be making a huge announcement sometimes maybe next week in the future. But I want to see some of the work we have done in the past here. If you have a token, you want to reach out to our organization to do some humanitarian work so that we don't come online every time we need support, you can just put it down. This is the case of a certain boy called Ade. Adiri Bigbe is one of the people we help. Our organization help young folks and children needing medical attention. Adiri Bigbe was born with some malfunction in his brain, which resulted to a tumor. And we came online, we announced, we asked for change. We were able to get a change. this was a very big day when he was going for a surgery and all that, and coming out smiling and all that. It's now fine. It's doing well. The pain is gone and all of that. We spent over 1 million naira on that very big day, so to say. Yeah, I must say over 1 million naira. But we got the job done. The guy has been living with this pain a day constantly all this while. But the moment we set in, we settle the old bill. And because you gave. Now, this is a case of another boy called Ogipioluwa. He was born with club foot. And when they reached out to us, we were able to settle the case immediately. The operation was done. Just the operation, a new shoe was given to him, and the leg has been corrected. This is a case of Olawumi. Olawumi is a very spectacular case, and this is what I would call miracle done by money. Because when you come to the organization, we don't pray for you. We just look for what we can do. Now, I want you to take a very good look at this leg very well. You can see Olawumi was involved in a domestic accident when she was a little child. And about 4 months, and she was not able to walk at all until they reached out to us in this organization for us to help Olawumi. And when we came out and spoke to you about it, you reached out to us. See Olawumi today. We started the surgery. The leg was released. Everything was corrected. The latest is that Olawumi is now walking. She's going through a therapy using crutches to walk. She can stretch her leg. And over the course of the COVID, she's been able to move unaided. That is what we do here. Now, because we are corporate, we are NGOs, we use total cost of 1.35 million on this project. Because we are NGOs also, CAMA2020 also affects us. And we don't wait for the government to come to audit our paper, we release our paper, we give a copy to EFCC, we also give FIRS and return our paper to also CAC every year. And including that, we make public finance every year. At the end of every year, the money we collected or we raised so far on the internet there. People who have been with us from the very beginning can attest to this. I have a good news to share with you, but I'll be sharing it next week, Thursday. Because of the little tokens here and there that you give, we combine it together and we did something spectacular with it. I'll bring you the news on live program next week, Thursday. Thank you very much for staying tuned. You have a token or two for the organization, you can put it on this particular account, or you have a token or two to help this platform, you can put it on this account that is carrying my name. I do not mix organization money with the platform money, because we don't have anything to fear. But let's say mistakenly you want to give us cash for the organization. You now put it in my own account. Our Zoom is for, to run the program and to keep the platform running, not the organization. And one of these days, you sent us money, you said you sent us money, you expect acknowledgement in terms of organization, you didn't see it, and you lodge complaint with CAC. CAC will now have to set up a committee to investigate us. And if we default, we will now be giving interim manager to oversee our finance, because the money of organization has mixed. And we have nothing to fear. Absolutely nothing to fear. That's why I said, for people who understand laws, rules, and regulation, let's also help ourselves so that we don't mix things up. Thank you very much. A little token you have here and there, you can just put it. It could be on monthly basis or whatever it is, into Crystal Law Support Foundation or into this platform organization. Please, we're coming back next week Tuesday and next week Thursday on the Wake Up Nigeria and Wake Up Africa. I hope to have a guest with me that next week Tuesday. We'll be talking together on some important topic, and the state of the nation will be bringing it and be explaining it to us. Trust it when you want to get a full detail, the implication, objective observation on any issue. This is the right platform to have it. And if you also have one or two things to share with the world and you want to be on this platform, you can also just type post me to 08078384845, 08078384845. It is scrolling underneath. We'll bring you to the view of other people, and you'll be able to also have your say. Thank you very much for joining us today, and namaste. That's what we say. It's meaning I bow to the divinity in you. I bow to your ability to use your brain. I bow to the fact that I trust that you will use your common sense. And don't forget, the most important thing to do is to share this with as many of your friends as possible. Have a nice day now, and wake up if you are sleeping. Bye for now.